Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat. I'm back with another idea for the paper pumpkin, the Frights and Delights, September 2018. So I have another alternative idea. Alright, so what I came up with was this little notepad, like this. And so I just used twine from the kit. I drew some little, webs, did the stamping. This is one of the cards that comes in the bottom, or you're supposed to put in the bottom of the bag of goodies. So I sanded it just to tack it up a little bit. I cut it down just a little because this one is a little smaller, and stamped it with Frights and Delights and a couple of the spiders, and then I put the spiderweb plastic bag over the top of it. So if you get down to where you just have one left or whatever, and you want to do something different with it, this is just another alternate idea that you can do. So here it is a little closer. So we're going to go through making this so that you get measurements and all that good stuff. So I cut a black piece of paper at 7.5 by 5 1/4 this way. So 7.5 by 5 1/4. Okay, and then I score it. And so I use my cutter to do that. I just use a little score line, but if you have one of the scoreboards or whatever, you can do it that way, but this is just the way that I do it. So I know that the middle of 7.5 is 3 3/4, so that would be the middle. So I'm going to go one more up, one more of the long lines up, and you probably can't see, I'm not great with measurements. No, it won't go anymore. I close my arm. Okay, so we're 3 3/4 is like right there. I'm just going one more line up. It's like, I don't know, however many eighths or whatever, but right there, right before 4. So the long line before 4 is where I'm going to score it once. Sorry about that. I never was very great at the whole fraction thing. And I have to do this at an odd angle because I've got a tripod sitting right here. So there's one score, and then I'm going to put it back at 3 3/4 just to get an idea. Sorry. And then one of the long lines down, so right before 3.5. I'm going to score it again. I can't do it this way. I got to do it at the weird angle. I don't have one of the scoreboards, so that's just the way I do it. So you can see, and I know it's kind of hard, but see right there is a score line right there. We're just trying to make a gusset is what we're doing. Oh, whoops, I didn't realize that this is green, shiny paper on this side, so I'm going to fold it this way. For our purposes, it's not going to make that big of a difference. I thought it was just plain black. I didn't notice the shiny till I got it right under the light. It was just in my stash. Not that that really makes a difference, but so if you notice here, see, you just got a nice little gusset so that that little notepad will sit in there and not, tweak the cover out or make it not quite fit right or whatever. It'll just fit right inside of there. See? Okay. So that's that part. Oh, I guess I can cut the rest of this. And then our orange piece of paper is 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. So it needs to go this way for 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. And that's our orange sheet that's going to go in there, and then the black and white. And this, I'm just using stuff out of my stash, so use up your scraps. It's just a good thing to do. You can use any black and white. You could use stripes. This is dots. I had houndstooth on the example. Plus, if you do them all different, then it looks like you tried harder or something. 4 3/4. This one is. By 2 1/4. Okay, so that'll sit on this side of this, like that. don't think I need this for right now anymore. So here's what I kind of have, and I'll put this up here in case you want to stop it for a minute. Sorry, I know it's kind of light, but I think you'll be able to see it on your screen. If not, again, it's 7.5 by 5 1/4, and then you're scoring just on either side of the 3 3/4 line. The orange card is 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. The black and white is 4 3/4 by 2 1/4. Okay, and I watched Stampin' Kathy at Berry Wishes, and that kind of gave me this idea to do the webs like that. So thank you, Kathy. That was a great idea. All right, so I'm just going to take my black and white, and again, you could use any black and white if you've got, or really anything. If you've got Stampin' Up! Halloween paper, then, you know, use it, because I'm sure it'd be really cute that way. I'm just giving you an idea. You don't have to do it exactly like this. It just could be a cute gift for a teacher or, you know, somebody at the office or whatever, just a nice little notepad. So that's kind of what I was thinking anyway. Just use glue on that. I think this was me and my big ideas. Oh, and thank you guys for telling me that that was Hobby Lobby paper. I shop there too. It just, you know, I forget where I get my paper sometimes, especially if I've had it for a while. So yeah, I think this was me and my big ideas out of one of their paper stacks a long time ago. So we're going to use the spiders. Uh-oh, what did I just do with him? Oh no, those tiny ones are can escape you very easily because they'll stick to your fingers and then they're gone. Alright, so what I did is I put it on there on my little block, and I'm just using regular black ink, and I stamped it on paper so that I make sure it's going the right direction. Just made it a little bit easier to see. And then I just did one, you know, right about here, kind of close to the black and white paper. And I did another one higher up, kind of closer to the edge of the orange. I'll do the little one. These ones are really hard to tell what direction they're going in until you stamp them, and even then it's hard when you have old eyes and you can't see. Okay, I think that's right. The other thing you have to be really careful with these is barely touch them to the ink, because one, they get slippery, and two, they just really, you don't need much. So this one I kind of did in between the two big ones, and they rock really easy on the block, so be careful. And then I go a little bit down further like this, sort of in the middle again. Can you see that? Just, you can place them however you want to. So, and then let me see if I zoom in a little bit when I draw the lines. Oops, I'll move up. That might help. And I just used a regular black Sharpie. I'm going to turn it to the side just so that I can see what I'm doing here. And then I just lightly, I didn't press all the way down because I didn't want a really thick, not that these do really thick lines anyway, but I'm just kind of barely touching. Now it's not going to work at all, right? Stinker. Okay. So, and I'm just squiggling and wiggling a little bit. You can wiggle them as much as you want to. That. Barely touching and just kind of wiggling my hand a little bit. And really kind of pushing my hand against the paper and almost, you know, just to give it that kind of effect. Alright, and then I took the block, and like I said, I sanded it a little on one side, and I already did that because I didn't want to have to do that on camera. It gets kind of white dust everywhere, but I just was trying to make it be able to grab the ink a little bit better. And I'm just going to cut a little sliver, just like 1/8 of an inch maybe, off of each side. Actually, I could just go with a whole quarter and be done with it, but anyway, I'm just trying to, I just didn't want it quite as wide as what it was, because that stamp isn't very big, so. But this is a good idea to use these if you didn't end up using them all, or you know, you just don't know what to do with if you have extras or whatever. It's a good way to use them up, because they're cut a nice size. So sorry, I can't seem to get my cutter to cut this straight, of course. I'm gonna cut a little bit more off than I did last time. Right, there we go. It's probably user error, I'm sure. Alright, so I'm going to get the Frights and Delights off of here. Put that on my block, and my block needs to be cleaned. All that black ink all over it. And I check to make sure I'm getting inked enough. You know how sometimes when these are new, they don't take up the ink very well. So, oh, I'm going to back up just a teeny bit again. Oops, sorry. Like that. So here's my little block. Sorry, I probably missed all that because I had it too close. And I'm just going right in the middle of it. And they stick a bit, so you gotta kind of push them to get them off of there. And then I'm going to take the spiders again, and I'm going to see what direction they're going. Not that it really matters, because you can have them going either direction, but I kind of want this one up and a little bit at an angle. I'm going to scoot this up just a little bit again. Sorry, I'll make you guys seasick today. Okay, I just want you to be able to see, because these are tiny. Like that. And this one, see what? Man, it's just really hard to see the little one. And I'm going to put one here. One over here. Just like that. And you could do it, just leave it like that. You don't have to put the plastic over it. So say you were, you know, you used up every one of your bags and everything. You could just cut a piece of white cardstock in a rectangle and just put it on here. You know, you don't have to use those little cards. I'm just trying to give you an idea if you have cards left and you want to, you know, you're like, what am I going to do with all these? So, but you could easily just use white cardstock and just leave it at that. You don't have to put the bag over the top. I'm just going to put these in the corners. If I can. And this is kind of like working with vellum. You can see these a little bit, but I don't think it's terribly distracting, because at least they're almost clear themselves, so they kind of just, well, especially on white, they just kind of take on the white color, so that's not too big of a problem. If you're going on black, it might be a different story, but you're not going to see this light of the bag anyway on the black, so I doubt you would be doing that. So I just put 4 of them on, one in each corner. I'm taking those off now. And then I'm going to take this bag and try to find the least wrinkly spot. It's kind of at the end. I've used it, you know, I used it in my last video as well, so kind of just trying to find the best spot here. About right there. I just think it looks kind of neat with the spiders underneath and then the Frights and Delights. You can still read it. And then I turn it over to cut it so that I get a nice close edge, because this paper is nice and thick, because they're like actually almost like little cardboard pieces, so you can come right up to them and clean them up. And you could decorate these a lot of ways. This is just kind of an idea, but I think it's a cute little gift to give. So I'm going to put some glue on the back of this, maybe. And I don't remember where I got these. I don't know if I said that already, but I can't remember if it was the dollar store or in Target's little bins. It may have been Target, and somebody may know. So if anybody knows, you can comment below, because you may have bought some yourself. And this is green on the inside, but I don't think it really matters. It's kind of a dark, shiny green, so it kind of looks, you know, Halloweenish. But you could use all black. I thought I had all black. I'm just trying, you know, using up scraps, always using up scraps, because I'm about buried in them. So that's, and then you can see the gusset right there. I just went to the line, the first, so you can see this folded line right here. And then I just edged it right up to the other one, so that when it folds over, it's just in there like that. Okay, I'm going to back out just a little, I always go the wrong way. Sorry. Alright, so this, I'm going to take some of the twine that comes with the kit. And I'm using some double-sided tape that everything gets stuck to. And I'm just going to put a piece kind of across like this. And then I'm starting winding. So I just stick it on the double stick tape. And then I'm just going around like 4 times. And it doesn't really matter how. Okay. So then I come back and stick it onto the double stick tape and cut it. And then when I come to the front, I wanted to kind of splay it out. So if you wrapped it where it did this better, you would be better off than I am, but I kind of twisted it right there, but it can be fixed. Maybe. There we go. So now it just looks like 4 lines. So I'm just going to take it down here, another one right there, another one here, another one there, and then these ones I'm going to squeeze them together. This. So see, it's squeezed together on this side, and these ones are splayed out. And I'm sure you guys could figure that out. And then I'm going to take a piece, and I'm going to put it through here and tie a little bow, which is always very fun to watch on camera. Because it's easier said than done, especially when you're doing this on camera. And I just tie it, you know, just a regular bow. And I did with the other one, I took one of the sticky dots and I kind of stuck the center of the bow down up here just so it would stay up there. You don't have to do that, and I'm not going to do it right now just because it's kind of all over the place and I don't want to fiddle with it right now. But anyway, you're just tying a bow for this part. I can't find the end. Where did it go? Huh, I don't know. I'll mess with it in a minute. But anyway, see on this one I put one of the glue dots up behind there so it would stay up near the top, and then the sides just kind of go wherever they're going to go. And I'll fix that one too, but I just don't want you guys to have to wait for me to do that. So then I'm going to take a dimensional, or 4 dimensionals, and put it on this, the Frights and Delights card that we made with the spiderweb bag, because I want it popped up. Definitely using up my dimensionals on this last few days. Alright, and I'm just going to kind of put this up here, hanging into the spiderwebs a little bit, but it's going to bug me. Come back and fix it. they want to twist in that twine, I've noticed, and so you got to kind of fiddle with them for a minute to get them to untwist. And I really try to get like in the corners and right along the top because, you know, you want it to stick well and not come off for whoever you give it to. And that will go right there in the middle as well as I can. Right, so that's the finished product. The little spider webs on there and then the spiders underneath. So just an idea, but you could easily use, you know, the ghosts or any other stamping, however you wanted to do it. But that's just a little idea for an alternative. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.